You know, what if I told you that you already own the most advanced, most sophisticated biofeedback device ever created? And no, it's not a watch, it's not some new sensor, it's your own body. So let's dive into this. Let's explore the incredible symphony of signals that's happening inside you right this second, and more importantly, how you can learn to be the conductor.
But first, let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like you're just living from the neck up, kind of trapped in this constant whirlwind of thoughts and plans and worries, while the rest of your body is just sort of along for the ride? If you do, you're definitely not alone.
It's such a powerful habit, isn't it? Our minds just love to get completely lost in their own little worlds, replaying the past, scripting out the future. And in that process, we kind of unplug from this incredibly rich, real-time feed of information our body is constantly sending us.
And think about how we usually deal with our bodies. It's totally reactive. A shoulder gets tight, and we just ignore it, right up until it's screaming in pain. Our gut feels a little off, we just pop a pill. It's like we're playing whack-a-mole with our own symptoms. But what if we made a shift? What if we went from just reacting to actually listening, from fighting our body to collaborating with it? That collaboration, well, it all starts with understanding that your body is absolutely packed with hidden signals. It's talking to you 24/7. The problem is, most of us were never taught how to speak the language. The iceberg analogy is just perfect for this. The stuff we do notice, like hunger or obvious pain, that's just the very, very tip. But beneath the surface, there's this massive, subconscious flow of information about our heart rate, our muscle tension, how our organs are doing. The sheer amount of data is just enormous.
So how in the world do we access all that hidden information? Well, it starts by taking on a totally new role. You see, you're not just a passenger in your body, you're the conductor.
Okay, this is the central idea right here. Just imagine your body is this huge, complex orchestra, and the single most powerful tool you have to influence it, your conductor's baton, is your own focused attention. That's it. Where you point your attention, the music starts to change. And this metaphor, it maps so beautifully to our own biology. Think about it. Your connective tissue, your fascia, that's like the string section, setting the overall tension in the whole system. Your muscles? They're the powerful percussion. And your heart and your breath, they're the woodwinds, setting the rhythm and the flow. Every single system has its part to play in the symphony. All right, so we can see the orchestra. Now what? Well, a conductor's first job is simple. Just listen, especially for those notes that seem a little off or out of tune. The signals we usually slap a negative label on. And this right here, this is the crucial reframe. That tension in your jaw, that flutter in your stomach, these aren't enemies you have to fight. They're messengers. They are just raw, unfiltered data coming straight from your orchestra.
So a tight shoulder isn't a bad shoulder. It's just a violin string that's been pulled a little too tight. A racing heart isn't some sign of failure. It's just the woodwind section playing a bit too fast. See, these signals aren't problems that we need to silence. They're actually invitations to tune the instrument.
This whole process, this skill of listening and tuning, it has a name. It's called natural biofeedback. It's basically the art of using your own attention as both the sensor and the screen, tapping into these internal feedback loops to gently guide your body back toward harmony. No gadgets required. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do we actually do it? How do we pick up that conductor's baton and start tuning? Well, it's actually simpler than you might think. It all comes down to this really simple three-step loop. First, you listen. You just guide your attention to a sensation without judging it. Second, you guide. You use your breath or maybe a tiny micromovement to just invite a change. And third, you observe. You just notice what happens. Did it soften? Did it shift? That's it. That little loop is the absolute core of self-regulation. And here's the best part. Your brain is literally built for this. Every single time you run through that listen, guide, observe loop, you are physically strengthening the neural pathways for self-awareness and self-regulation. This is neuroplasticity in action. You are rewiring your own brain to become a better listener. This whole process uses a network in your brain. Think of it like the conductor's control room. You've got key players like the insular cortex, which is kind of like your internal body scanner, and the anterior cingulate cortex, or ACC, which directs your attentional spotlight, helping you zoom in on these subtle signals. You're basically training them to work together more effectively as a team. So,
what's the end game here? What's the result of all this interconducting? It's really about finding a completely new state of being.
You know, a common misconception is that the goal of all this is to empty the mind or silence the body. But that's not it at all. A silent orchestra is a dead one, right? The goal isn't silence, it's harmony. This dynamic, responsive state where all the different sections are playing in concert, creating this feeling of integrated, vibrant well-being.
At the end of the day, this whole practice is about rebuilding trust with your own body. It's about learning to listen to its wisdom and knowing that its sensations, whether they feel comfortable or uncomfortable, are always singing the truth of what's happening in this exact moment.
So, I'll leave you with this. Just for a moment, right now, pause and just listen. Without judging, without trying to fix anything, what is your body's orchestra telling you? The performance has already started. All you have to do is turn your attention to the music.